You must have your own experience. I greet you with all my heart. This body doesn't think it can teach you something new. I will call this body, I will call it briefly speaking. I can't teach you anything new. I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a celebrity. I just have a confession. I confess to you your own reality. This is not a teaching, this is a confession. When I confess, I speak to my true self, you are my true self. You are Sanchidananda of knowledge of the existence of bliss. You are not the body or the mind. What you seem to be is not the truth. It may be a fact, but it is not the truth. A fact is something that appears to be true but is changeable. You cannot be who you think you are. Since when you were a baby you were completely different, as a little boy or girl you were different too. The way you are now is completely different from the way you were before. Hence, how can you not be the body that you are, who you are? Shadananda Garden. What it is. When I speak, this means absolutely nothing. This must be your own experience. Don't believe a single word I say. Why should you believe me? What do I know? I'm just confessing to you that there is only Para Brahman consciousness, bliss, being, awareness, pure intelligence. This is my experience, there is nothing more. Everything else is an experience of the mind. Like hypnosis. The world seems real, just like a dream. What is peace? It's like you wake up and still remember the dream. In your dream you went to different places. Got married. You had children. You were getting old. Then you wake up and half remember the dream and half remember the world in which you woke up. Which of them is real world or dream? My experience is that they are the same. There is no real difference. You become attached to this world just like that you become attached in a dream. It's as if you had a dream that you fall from the mountain and I fall next to you. I would tell you not to bother with you, nothing will happen. You are dreaming. You wouldn't believe me. You would be filled, they said, with fear. Can't you see? We're falling. Don't you see what's happening? How can you tell me that I am dreaming? In the same way you become attached to illnesses, health, good and bad, happiness, misfortune, and all these concepts. You have become attached to a person, place, subjects. You forgot that this is a dream. You think this is real. And because you think it is real you suffer. Respectively, when you leave your body, you'll have to come back again and again and again. It's all part of the dream. Until you are not attached, how to do it? Just observing what is happening around. Without committing yourself to it. Remaining awake to your reality. Understanding about yourself what you don't do. Everything you do is predetermined. It will be done. You have to mentally let go of all conditioning. Everything objectively needs to calm down. Make the mind serene like a still lake. Then reality comes by itself. Happiness comes on its own. Peace comes on its own. Love comes on its own. Freedom comes on its own. These words are synonyms. All this happens without your thinking about it. But first you have to get rid of the idea that I am the body or the mind or the doer. And then everything will happen on its own. Be calm and know that I am God. There lived a girl who was born in a brothel. Opposite on this street in the market lived a preacher. Holy man. He praised the virtues of God and talked about the brothel, that it was filled with sinners, and that people must repent. The girl who grew up near the brothel was 23 years old. She often looked out the window and cried alone with myself, speaking as I wish, so that I would somehow be a holy person. How I wish I could be spiritual. She imagined herself to be a holy man and continued to do her job. And so they both grew old and died. They end up with St. Peter. At the gates of heaven, St. Peter said to the man, "You can't pass. You must go to hell." He told the girl, "You can pass." The holy man was taken aback and asked why. "All these years I have praised you kindness and virtue. I told people to repent. How can you let her pass? She was a prostitute. And leave me behind fence," St. Peter said. "You were a hypocrite," was a respected man. Talked a lot, but didn't really say anything. In your heart you thought that everyone was a sinner. Except you. While the girl, in her imagination and feelings, always thought about God. So she can pass, but you can't. The essence is this. It's not what you say, it's not what you declare, but in what is deep deep in your heart. This is what determines what will happen to you. Not reading books, not studying, not attending classes. And sit with yourself, calm down, go deeper and deeper into inside yourself. Go beyond your mind-body, to until something happens. When thoughts just come to you, ask yourself, to whom these thoughts come? Where do these thoughts come from? Trace thoughts back to their source. Discover the source of your thoughts. You will find that the source of thoughts is me. I will trace the thread to its source. Ask the question, who am I, or where is the source I'm from? It was me who appeared. You realize that the pronoun I is the first word that was spoken. Everything else is tied to the self. All other words, all other thoughts, feelings, emotions, they all become attached to me. If I dissolve, the same thing happens to everyone else. And you become free. Discover for whom I exist, and you will discover something amazing. You will discover that I never existed. There was never me. You will find that you never existed. There is no one like you. You will discover that you are the incorruptible true self. That you were never born and will never die. That there are no others. No world, no universe. There is no God. There is only the true self. All this is the true self, everything. What you contemplate is the truth. I am is this. It will give you a feeling of freedom, bliss, happiness. You will not lose your consciousness. When I talk about this, people think that they will become absolutely destroyed, and nothing will remain. They will dissolve in the vast ocean of nirvana. It is not necessary that you will always be awareness. You will always be pure and rational. Because this is your true nature. You will be in bliss. In addition, you will understand that you are not what you seem. It will still seem like your body is doing something. Making your movements, you will look like an ordinary person, but you will know that you have risen above the rough world into paradise, the world of pure consciousness. And you will be at peace.